you know, unless you're the Rolling Stones or a handful of other bands, just prepare for the day where your band is not going to be there. Now, none of us prepared for that day. You know, from the day I got out of college, it was the Dixie Dregs. And then when a year later we had our first record deal, and then 6 years later we had 6 records out, and our audience was bigger, and we'd gotten Grammy nominations, and now we're all showing up in music polls. I think all of us felt it was going to be there forever. I never thought in terms of promoting myself as an individual, you know, or like when I'd meet somebody who maybe could have helped me down the road, getting their name and phone number just in case the day came. I thought, Dixie Dregs forever. Well, the day came. While you're doing your band thing, which is your passion and the most important thing to you, also be working yourself as an individual. You know, I have a conversation with virtually every one of my students here at Berkeley that do yourself a favor, pick up a guitar or sit at a piano and kind of just mess around trying to learn a few chords just so you can, you know, begin to see the other things that are going on when you play music. I've had a lot of people over the years that say to me, God, you know, you play so musically, or you sound more like a musician than a drummer, or you play so dynamically. There's some other level to your playing that comes from somewhere, and I know where it comes from, and it comes from not just being a drummer. Most every student that comes to Berkeley has that one particular music that they're passionate about. The philosophy that we have in the department is to encourage them to continually pursue that passion for that one particular style, but we also want a student leaving here with some general knowledge on a lot of different styles of music. To me, like, the thing that's made my career is the versatility, being able to go from one band to the next, but you also will find that the more rhythms that you learn from these different cultures, if you're intelligent on some level, you will then start borrowing these rhythms and adapting them to your own individual way of playing and kind of become a drummer who both is smart enough to read a situation and know, you know, what the situation is calling for in terms of the more traditional approach to that particular music, but then also be able to bring to it some of your own originality, which you can clearly get into by studying the rhythms and music of other cultures. And so I am always driving home that point to my students. Just, you know, from a survival perspective, I'll also talk to students just in terms of, you know, whether their goal in life is to never have to work for a living. And I say that meaning I don't feel like I've ever worked a day in my life. I'm not saying that I haven't had to put in a lot of time, you know, honing my skills. If a student says, yeah, I don't ever want to flip burgers or have to get a regular job or work 9 to 5, say, well, okay, then it's really smart to push the versatility button, learn as many drumming styles as you can, because, you know, you never know. You might get a phone call this weekend. What are you doing? Nothing. Do you know how to play you know, like, I don't know, like a tarantella? Just think about it, like, even if it's not your cup of tea, if somebody's offering to pay you money to have fun playing music, wouldn't you rather do that than sit home twiddling your thumbs or to be making minimum wage at some other job? So, and plus, you never know where every single gig that you play will lead. Even playing the tarantella, you know, playing an Italian wedding, you don't know who you might meet playing that night. It might be someone who shares your same passion and goes, wow, you're into that music, you want to get together, and that's how things happen in this business. until your last dying breath, you're trying to come at things a little bit differently, you know, and challenge yourself to not just do the same old, same old. You know, because I am lucky enough to get to play in all these different styles of music, you never know enough, you know, to be able to come up with the right part for the tune. You're always like digging deeper and deeper down to find yet another part of who you are. And it keeps the music really exciting.